Jujutsu Kaisen is one of those shows where every individual is either top tier or has the potential to be a GOAT. But in this case, we're going to talk about the ones who aren't. Originally, when I was going to make this video, it was going to be directed towards the students of Kyoto High. But as time went on, I discovered that someone else deserves the title just as much as them. Now, before we get down to business, let me give the definition of the term fraud. Because whenever I do these type of videos, someone always says that the individual wasn't a fraud. Fraud is a person or thing intended to deceive others, typically by unjustifiably claiming or being credited with accomplishments or qualities. For example, when Sakura said that she finally caught up to Naruto and Sasuke, that was a lie. When Berta said he was the fastest in the universe, that was a lie. When Useless Kid was acclaimed to be Luffy's rival and somewhat of an equal, that was a lie. When Gojo said, nah, I'd win, that was a lie. But he's still the GOAT though, so we gonna let that slide. With that out of the way, let's get the video started. As I mentioned earlier, the students at Kyoto High utterly stink. They are the 2025-26 Washington Wizards. They're the type of group that could make a D-rank character look like an S-rank character. The type to make a character like Tonpa from Hunter x Hunter drop 83 points in their universe. Now I understand why they all hated Toto so much. It's because the man is basically a one-man army. After what they did in the school exchange arc, you would have thought they were going to be right up there with Fushiguro and Itadori. But truth be told, they didn't even make it out the bottom of the basement yet, if we keeping it a buck. They pulled up screaming #squad goals. You got Rimuru from that time I got reincarnated as a slime, Kankuro's puppet, other girl looks like she's a background character for Soul Eater, Kung Fu Kenshin, Mai, and Big Goat Toto. Toto and Mekamaru are exempt from this slander because they're the only ones in the group that showed up and showed out. I don't know if it was just my first impressions of the group that had me set such high expectations of them, or the fact that they looked legit in the JJK movie. But after further review, they were never really like that to begin with, because most of them got packed up before Mahito and Hanami even arrived. I should have known they weren't really like that when they couldn't even pull off a successful jump session against Itadori. Miwa literally calls herself Useless Miwa, like the name speaks for itself. Not to mention her getting packed up by Maki, who literally has no cursed energy. She's 5'7" with 180 pounds of pure strength, and you couldn't even beat her? That's like All For One getting dropped by a quirkless All Might. Oh wait, that actually happened.
He's trash. Don't say his name.
Let me take that back. That's like Kaiba losing to a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck. Not only did Maki pack her up, but she stole her sword as well.
Stole that shit.
I know that ride back to Kyoto High was embarrassing. I bet she pulled up on Maki like Red did Debo, talking about some, my tripping, man. She wanted me to ask for my sword back. You knew I wouldn't trip. Then Maki was like, what sword? Blair Witch got packed up by Kugisaki, but the funniest part about her getting dropped was that she got dropped by Usopp's 10-ton hammer. Imagine getting dropped by one of God Usopp's most powerful weapons. But the events that happened in Shibuya were much more appropriate to expose these individuals. Now we all know the Shibuya incident was practically an all hands on deck situation, but what if your hands weren't worthy of in this event? So Mekamaru sent them a video and told them not to get involved in Shibuya because they are not built for this type of activity. This man Mekamaru did Batman levels of prep timing, showed them highlight reels like Alfred in The Dark Knight Rises, even gave data statistics. This man went out of his way to make sure y'all didn't get exposed in 4K. And what do? Y'all get exposed in 4K. This is like Kurapika when he pulled up to the fight with a shovel. How do you dishonor a dead man's wish? Like, make it make sense. This girl Miwa had a motivational flashback and did absolutely nothing with it. This man grabbed her sword with one hand and shattered it to pieces.
Stupid.
Looking like Ichigo when he first fought Aizen. Mai shot one bullet and knew it was time to retire because she absolutely did nothing. Kano was practically useless because this man shot 1,000 arrows and not one of them landed.
Halfway.
Look, buddy, I know you like to walk around with your eyes closed, but that doesn't mean you have to act like you're blind. I bet Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles would have landed at least one hit, and they are legally blind.
Barely.
Don't get me started on Momo. This girl is without a doubt the worst airbender I've ever seen in my life. You telling me that you couldn't do one effective thing in your entire life? This man Zahir, who's not even a real airbender, had more impressive feats than you. She pulled up with that weak ass wind psych attack that did literally no damage. Bruce Lee always said to be afraid of the person that uses the same move 1,000 times, or practices the same move 1,000 times. But this obviously wasn't the case because her one move wasn't even a threat. This move was so ass that they didn't even bother using any type of defense to block the attack. They took it head on and all they got was a nice cool breeze.
Fucking useless sack of shit! Get out!
Nah, bro, pack it up at this point. Better yet, in the words of Berlizzi, get the f out of here. Like, everyone was always on Inuyasha for only using Wind Scar, but at least that move was effective in comparison to yours. Kyoto High getting exposed in 4K only solidified one thing, and this is that there's levels to this ish. Like, the power gap between Kyoto and Tokyo is insane. It's like a hydrogen bomb versus a coffin baby. They looked so elite in the JJK movie, but once they came across some real demons, the lights were too bright for them. The Zenin clan has also earned the title of biggest frauds in JJK. Now, don't go into manga spoilers in the comments because I know some of y'all will say Fushiguro because he doesn't have a complete domain expansion, or Sukuna for spoiler reasons, but this is an anime only perspective, so if they fit the criteria by the time they get to those moments from the manga, then I'll gladly spin the block and make a part 2 of this video. The Zenin clan are basically the Temu version of the Zoldyck clan. Only difference is the Zoldicks are a bunch of aura farming, drip having assassins where a single picture of them can be sold for millions. Whereas the Zenin clan are a bunch of prejudiced frauds that are only relevant and part of the big three families because of Gojo and Toji having one of the greatest fights in history. First victim of the fraud list is Mai Zenin. Now, Mai was given the short end of the stick because she's the twin sister of Maki. Now, I'm not going to cook her as bad as some of the other characters because, you know, she's at heaven's door right now, but she still displayed a little fraudulence. When she pulled up in the Kyoto Exchange event, she had all the potential in the world because she could have been John Wick with the blick, but ended up looking like Whole Horse. Even Kenjaku had her looking bad because she hit this man with a mother load of sniper rifle bullets, and this man blocked it with ease. Yeah, it's time to clock out and retire as a Jujutsu sorcerer because this ain't it for you. After getting exposed so bad, we never saw her again. At least until a certain moment happens. The next member of the Zenin clan is the headmaster himself, Naobito. Now keep in mind, we never saw much of him, but he still had the same mindset of every male member of the Zenin clan, so he's joining the list as well. In the Shibuya incident, this man almost got packed up by Mr. Krabs and then immediately got clapped by Patrick's big bro. This man had that crazy ass mustache looking like he was trying to be Waluigi's father or something, like cut it out. But on account of his actions, I will give him praise for having a contingency plan in his will, which was if he were to die, his bozo of a son would be head of the clan, but if Gojo was to somehow get sealed, then Megumi would be the head of the clan instead. Next, we have OG Zenin, aka one of the worst fathers in history. This man looks like a bootleg Nobunaga with the eyes of a reanimation jutsu. This man is practically a behind the doors laughingstock of the clan because his children are mid in their eyes. Once he found out about Megumi being the new head of the clan, he locked the F in and came up with the greatest backdoor in history. The rest of the clan was like, you know what would be funny? OG killing both of his daughters and live streaming it in 4K. While everyone was laughing, OG was like, that's supposed to be funny? I thought we was being dead ass right now. This man puts both of his daughters on a t-shirt with a quickness. The most diabolical part is that he was the one that came up with the plan.
No good, lousy son of a bitch.
But to be honest, this man was waiting for the opportunity to do this since the day they were born. Even if Gojo wasn't sealed, he still would have clapped them both for the love of the game.
If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
This man hates his daughters just like everyone in the JJK fandom hates Mahito for killing Nanami. After leaving his daughters for dead, which was a huge red flag right there, because how you gonna fatally wound them but not finish the job? That's how I know you're a fake demon. Like the great Lord Ishin would say after killing me over 100 times, hesitation is defeat. Mans really thought he was that guy after doing that to his children.
You're not that
But then
guy.
out of nowhere, he feels the spiritual pressure of a real life demon. He hasn't felt this way since Toji. Mans was happy as hell once he realized that he gets to clap his failure of a daughter twice. But the joke's on him because Maki already clapped this man without him even noticing. This man got the meanest haircut in the history of haircuts. Maki didn't give this man the number 1. She gave him the negative number 1 haircut. Cut this man's entire scalp off in an instant. What's so funny about this is how badly he messed up. Like, how are you so bad at your job that you accidentally create the second reincarnation of Toji? That's like starting a war and then calling for a ceasefire right after.
FBI, open up!
The mother's not any better because she allowed the BS to happen, but she came in the clutch at the end though. Now let's move on to these 3 individuals right here. You got Junichi, Ranta, and Chojuro. They are elite members of the Hei clan, which are the strongest members of the Zenin clan. But that didn't really mean much because they got packed up with the quickness. Pulled up with one of the worst theme songs in history. This is up there with the Prowler's beat from Insomniac's Miles Morales game. Like, boy, if you don't get this whack ass Wild Wild West song off,
Cut the shit the
right
fuck
now.
off!
Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't you forgetting someone? And I would say you're right, because there is one more individual from the Kukuru clan, or the Kukuru unit, and that is Nobuaki, the captain of the Kukuru unit. But to be honest, this Elvis Presley looking ass boy not even worth the conversation because he got packed up immediately. Bro got an MK1 intro, hit the Expedition 33 pose, and then Maki hit this man with an instant one shot by punching him in the throat. Now listen, let me tell you how buns this man is. What seemed like a good old fashioned 1v1 turned into a 2v1 jump session. But wait, who is helping Maki to make it a 2v1? And don't say Mai because that's not the right answer. I'll gladly answer it for you. And it was Faith herself. You see, the Sisters of Faith weren't satisfied with Maki just punching them in the throat. They had to get involved themselves. But they couldn't just flat out pull up in the flesh and run the fade because they're still embarrassed about what Kratos did to them in God of War 2. So they decided to have a little fun by taking the tip of the blade that Maki split in half and had it fly right through this man's throat. What started off as a simple sword fight turned into a scene from Final Destination. Tragic. The big 3 of the Hei finally got involved, and that was a straight up clown show. Old Man Chojuro is one of the first old white-haired men in anime that broke the stereotype of being strong as hell because he got packed up the same way Nobuaki did. Just a straight up throat shot and it was GG. Then you got this man Ranta, looking like he's auditioning to be the next Karate Kid. Boy got one of the top 2, maybe top 3 unimportant curse techniques in history. How you one of the elite sorcerers of the group, and your ability is to basically use the Eye of Sauron. Just put the fries in the bag, bro. Maki was brushing that off with ease, but he was holding her down so that Junichi could finish her off. Now this homeless emperor, Miyamoto from Vagabond looking ass boy, really thought he was like that because Ranta was gassing this man up like his life depended on it. Which it technically was because Maki was literally solo wiping the entire Zenin clan. Told that man, look, she's practically on the brink of reaching level 100 Toji when she's sitting at level 30 Toji right now. I need you to clap her with the quickness, even if I have to die in the process. Junichi was like, bet, and unleashed a full-on barrage of punches. This man really stole Deku's move to a T. Yes, I know it was Saitama's attack, but he copied the way Deku did it. When the dust settled, all you see is Ranta, who's bleeding from his eyes and practically blind, and he's gassing up Junichi. Bro actually believes that he dropped Maki. I know that trip to the afterlife gotta be funny. You're gonna be like, wait, Junichi? What are you doing here? I thought we won. But what's funny is how Junichi was looking afterwards. Maki decapitated this man, and if you pause the episode at the right moment, you can literally see him looking right at Ranta with the "you trash" face.
Boy, it's out the mud. We got Rashad McCown.
Now you know I had to save the biggest fraud for last, right? Finally, the main culprit that is the definitive fraud in the Zenin clan is none other than the man himself, Naoya Zenin. To keep it a buck, this whole video can be dedicated to him because he fits the exact definition of a fraud. This man's debut is right up there with Supreme Kai in terms of fraudulence. This dude looks like Toji if he was a crackhead instead of a black Air Force demon. This man's entire aura is the premises of a red pill ambassador, spewing the same ideology as Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit. Which is funny because didn't Andrew Tate get packed up in a boxing match? But we gonna keep it there. Naoya is the type of dude that would tell a woman to get back in the kitchen while sipping a margarita while doing it. When I tell you this man's entire relevancy was built on a lie, I mean that 1000%. When this man pulled up on Itadori and Choso, you would have thought he was a demon. But just like the Supreme Kai, don't let appearances fool you. Made a 2v1 look like a cakewalk. Mans was doing Choso so bad that I thought I was witnessing the reincarnation of Ip Man. Just a barrage of punches that would have had anyone yelling throw the towel. Did him so bad that he had time to flip his hair back and then some. Even had the internet in a chokehold because this man became an instant meme off of that one scene alone. First time debuting and you're already an internet sensation? Call it what you want, but the man already averaging a triple-double. The Flash was at home watching this episode like, bro's a fake demon, he don't want that smoke with me. Even the animation team knew he was a fraud because they literally had to gas this man up and make him appear to be a bigger problem than he is. Mappa was reading the manga and said, yeah, this dude stinks. We need to find a way to make him look like Zoom when he was beating up Barry. They literally had to make up fake scenes for his character. The infamous meme that we're all aware of? Yeah, that didn't happen. Him speed blitzing Choso in the tunnel? Barely happened. But his 15 minutes of fame came crashing down because Choso cooked this man with his blood manipulation technique, looking like the elevator scene from The Shining. The best part was the aftermath of that fight. Naoya laying in a puddle of blood while coughing up on his own blood. And then the real demon, Yuta, pulls up and sunned him right there. He was like, damn bro, you look like you were about 5 seconds away from reuniting with Toji. You want me to help you with that? Yuta was looking at that boy like,
Nigga, please.
You would think that would be the end of it, but nah, because the animators had something special cooked up for him, and it came in the way of a 5'7", 180-pound demon named Maki. You see, Maki is a member of the Zenin clan as well, but she doesn't have any cursed energy and is practically shunned upon by the whole clan because she didn't want to be on the Real Housewives of Jujutsu Kaisen. Maki and her sister Mai were left for dead by their father, but Mai sacrifices herself so that Maki gets a second chance at life, but only under one condition: destroy the Zenin clan. This is one of those moments in anime where the animation team cooks up a masterpiece and goes all out because they had Maki looking like the iconic scene from Kill Bill. She came back looking like Beatrice and completely clapped every single member of the Kukuru unit, leaving the whole area bloody. Had her looking like Itachi in his prime. But what she did to this bozo was legendary. When Maki fought Naoya, one thing was revealed about this man. Not only is he a misogynistic fraud, but he's a Toji Glazer as well. And I ain't talking about the good type of Toji Glazer. I'm talking about the bad Toji Glazer. This man been on Toji's nuts since he was a little kid. Bro saw what a real demon looked like and decided to be his #1 meat rider. When Maki was exchanging blows with him, all this man could think about was how Maki ain't built like Toji.
Hey yo, what the?
This nigga's a homosexual.
I don't know about you, but if I got a baddie in front of me and all I could think about is another man, then it sounds like you playing for the wrong team, my boy. This man had the nerve to put himself in the same breath as Gojo and Toji. Boy, if you don't get your goofy ass up out of here with that nonsense, you're not even in the same class as them. The category you're in is the Kyoto High students at best. Maki had enough of this bum because she did this man so dirty. Bro thought he rearranged Maki's guts and started feeling himself. This man is so sexist that he wasted all frames punching Maki right in her stomach. Like, damn bro, you trying to stop her from having kids or something? But Maki ain't no fool, because while he was beating on her like a black man in a Tyler Perry movie, She was studying this man's abilities like she had the Sharingan. Naoya tried hitting Maki with Flash's ultimate from Injustice, but Maki shut that down with the quickness like, "Nigga, did you know that I can see you?"
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
And dropped this man with one punch. Mans was sticking in his head like, damn, I guess all those times I mistreated women finally came back to get me. Nah, what am I talking about? I loved every minute of it. I'll bet my idol told you is looking up from heaven like, damn, little bro, you let me down. Let's share some drinks when we get up here. Boy, you going to hell. This punch probably gonna be weak as hell anyway because she's a woman after all. Told you something, give me strength.
Get off that nigga dick, bro, what is you doing?
It wasn't just a regular punch. He got hit with the multiple camera angle moment that all your favorite anime have done at least once on their show. When this moment happens to a character, it's like a clear sign that they are trash. Punched him so hard that he was looking like a Mortal Kombat X-ray attack. This man was spitting all that red pill talk just to get packed up by a woman is top tier comedy. This is almost as bad as Myron losing his girl to Rollerblade Rico. Boy, if you don't get yo, we got told you at home looking, one trick pony having, bow haircut wearing, absolute misogyny looking ass up out of here. Let me show you how trash the Zenin clan really are. After Maki solo wiped the entire clan, the other clans of the Big Three, or should I call it the Big Two, decided to have a secret meeting basically kicking the Zenin clan out of the Big Three families. But they didn't follow through with it because it is being on hold temporarily. Shit! That just shows you how bad they were. They found out that they got bodied by a grade 4 sorcerer and said, nah, we gotta get these bums out of here ASAP because they gonna make it look like the rest of us are trash. The one thing that has always been hilarious about the Zenin clan is how one man was the reason why they were even relevant in the first place. This man Toji, a person that has no cursed energy, was treated horrible by his own clan like Maki, who literally was nicknamed the Sorcerer Killer, somehow went toe-to-toe with Gojo. He is arguably the strongest character in the show. This moment right here made y'all even relevant in today's society. And the crazy part about it is that if it wasn't for Toji's wife, he would have did what Maki did, but at a much quicker pace. They was eating off this man's accomplishments like Lauryn Hill's debut album. With how things have played out in the first part of the Cullen games, I have a feeling that there's some more frauds that will be revealed in the future. The students of Kyoto High and the Zenin clan were just a start. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment and subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments who you think is the biggest fraud in JJK, and if you say any manga spoilers, make sure to keep them light. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.